Hey guys, so for today I'm going to be showing you how I do my own at-home dipped powdered nails, and it's the style in Ombre French tip. So to begin, I normally put on my diffuser because the chemicals that are in this are very strong and fill your room up fast, so I put on the diffuser just to block some of that out. And I think today I used mint, and I also put on my fan so that it spreads around the room faster. So while I was halfway recording, I realized that I was doing everything wrong and my camera was actually not in landscape and it was in portrait, so I had to start this process over, but that is okay. So the tools that you are going to need are 2 buffing brushes, cuticle oil, 2 fluffy brushes, and a tool to push back your cuticles. These are the 3 powders that I'm going to be using, and you're also going to need peroxide. To begin, you want to prep your nails. Prepping is very important because this will determine how long your nails will actually last. So what I am doing here is I am cutting sort of at my cuticles, and I'm just making sure that there's no cuticles on my nail base. So right now I'm pushing them back. You are going to do the same process with your other fingers. Next, you're going to take your smaller buffing brush and file down your nails to how they like. Before I paint my nails or do really anything to my nails, I make sure that they are shaped correctly and kind of match the other ones so that they don't look jagged, or if I have any hangnails, I just make sure that everything looks good and organized. Next, you want to rub off any shine that your nail base may have. So to do this, take that same buffing brush and just start going back and forth on all of your nail bases for all of your fingers. This is an important step because later on this helps your nails not to lift in the future. Now that we are done prepping, we are going to start dipping our nails. To begin, we are going to start with the clear powder and also be using the base coat. So I forgot, before you do anything, after you buff your nails, you want to use peroxide. Now this peroxide helps to dry up your nail bed even more, and this further helps prevent lifting. Now that we are 100% done with prepping, we are going to start with our base coat. You're going to put on a thin layer of base and make sure that you don't get it on your skin. If you do, clean it up, because let me tell you, it's very hard to take it off once you dip it into the powder. So you dip it into the powder, make sure you leave it in for a couple of seconds, just because the powder may not adhere at first, because when you see in the next clip, when I start wiping the powder away, some of it actually came off at the top, and I don't know why, but it did, so I had to do my thumb over. But to prevent you guys from doing that, just stick it in maybe three times, so then you don't have to do what I did. But after that, you're going to just repeat the same thing with your other nails. You're going to put on a thin layer of base coat, clean up your nails, and then dip it into the powder about 2 to 3 times to make sure that it's fully covered. So I just wanted to give out a little disclaimer that nail dipping, when I started, was definitely not the easiest for me. It took me a while to actually figure out how to do nail dipping without my nails cracking or coming off literally the next day. This is my 3rd time using this set, and it was a learning curve at first, but once you get the hang of it, it's actually really great, because I still have on these nails today, a week later, and this is the best that I've ever done my nails with this set. Anyways, what I'm trying to say is practice makes perfect. So for today's set, I am using the powders Pure White and the light pink powder. To begin, you want to put a thin layer of base coat. For all of the layers you do, you're going to do base coat. And so I've seen so many ways on how you do this process, but for me this was like the easiest. It does take a little bit longer, but for me the other ways just didn't work. I have been trying to come up with other ideas on how this could be like an easier process and not be so time consuming the way I do it, but until then this is the way I do it. So I take the smaller makeup brush and I dip on the pink powder closest to my cuticle area, and I make sure that it's all around. After you are done with the pink, you're going to dab it off and get off the excess powder. Now you're going to take the white and sprinkle it over the tip area of your nail. Make sure that you turn your nails and get every inch of your nail. Believe me, it is a terrible feeling when you didn't get all of your nail when you're completely done with this process. So you are going to continue this process with the rest of your fingers. With my pointer finger, I started with my tips first. So I started with the white because I feel like the white powder was actually a little bit more fine and I didn't have to dab off as much as the pink powder. The pink powder was a little bit heavier, so I started off with the white and then I went to the pink, and that was how I finished off my nails. So I did tip first and then cuticle area last. So white and then pink. So after that, you're going to take your bigger fluffy brush and wipe off all of the excess powder that you had on your nails. And this is the finished look that I had when I was done with my first coat of powder. And I didn't show it on camera, but I did do a second coat of powder, and this is the results of both hands with the second coat of powder nicely done. So I wanted to try something new. So I took the clear powder after I was done layering, and I actually dipped my fingers into the clear powder. Now in the directions, it doesn't tell me to do this, but I find when I have to start buffing my nails after just layering the powders and not putting a clear coat, that when I'm buffing, I must over buff because the color starts to come off, which means that you can see my underneath nail. So I thought if I put a clear coat of the powder, that when it comes to the buffing, that my color wouldn't come off anymore. So I did this experiment and it actually worked, because when I was buffing, the underneath color didn't come off. So I recommend when you're done layering to put a clear coat on before you start buffing, because it saves you the hassle of if you over buff, then your color comes off, then you have to take off the whole nail, and then you're mad, like I was when I first started. So that's what I did when I did this set. After you're done, you're going to take your activator and you are going to put this all over your nail. What the activator does is it smooths out your nail and prepares your nail for buffing. Also, I don't think I mentioned what kit I was using. I am using the Lavender Violets Professional Dip Powder Color Your Life kit from Amazon. Now you are going to get your bigger buffing brush and you are going to start buffing your nail. What buffing does is after you've put on all of those layers, your nails are thick and they need to be trimmed down so that they don't pop off. So what I do is I start kind of in the middle, do the sides, and then I do the top of my nail to make sure they're not rigid and they're smooth. This took me a while to try and get the hang of, and it's honestly a learning process. These are my nails after I have completely buffed them. They are nice, smooth, and thin. This is what you're looking for. After you are done buffing, you are going to do another coat of activator. So you're just going to apply this all around your nails again. This is what my nails look like after their second coat of activator. We are almost done now, and we are going to be applying 2 layers of top coat. So the first layer, apply a nice thin layer to all of your nails. While your other nails are drying, start applying the first coat to your other hand. The first coat dries pretty fast, so then you can add your second coat. And after your second coat, they should look something like this. And this is where we are going to use our cuticle oil. So I didn't realize how dirty the bottom of my area was, so I put a little napkin right there as I was applying my cuticle oil. So just put your cuticle oil along your cuticles to re-nourish them. And this is the final product of my nails. I'm so happy on how they came out. They're nice, shiny, and smooth. I want to thank you all so much for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know down below if you like seeing more of these things and maybe a simpler way to do them.